Welcome back. Today we're telling you all about the City of Raleigh Museum. We're joined by Lisa Snedeker and Grady Bussey of the Friends of the City of Raleigh Museum. And to both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's nice to have friends.
Yeah, it is.
Why don't we start there? What is the Friends of the City of Raleigh Museum?
So the Friends of the City of Raleigh Museum is an organization that has started back in 2012 when the City of Raleigh's Parks and Recreation and Cultural Resources Department actually took over the museum. And we are a 501c3 organization, and our desire and our focus is to make sure that we support the City of Raleigh Museum and create new opportunities to create history and create ways to get people into our museum.
Well, I know it's a big support group, and I bet you'd like it to get bigger, right?
Absolutely. You know, I think one of the cool things about Raleigh is that we always have extraordinary people that want to serve. And the City of Raleigh Museum, the Friends of the City of Raleigh Museum is one of the most, I believe, the coolest things to be a part of. This organization has such a wide range of opportunity to serve our public. You know, when you have space to be able to help tell different stories, you know, Raleigh, that museum is amazing, and our organization is truly excited to be a part of the thread of Raleigh itself.
Well, you guys just celebrated, what, the 30th anniversary of the
museum. So the City of Raleigh Museum has a real unique story. You know, as Raleigh has grown and it's became a destination place for people to live, we wanted to make sure that we continuously tell the story of the Raleigh history and tell new story. And so 30 years ago, the museum came about, and we had an opportunity to celebrate the legacy of the museum, as well as just be able to, you know, get people excited about all the new stories that we're going to tell.
Well, looking over your shoulder over the past 30 years, I don't know if you guys were around for those 30 years, but were there some stories or exhibits that really kind of stand out to you guys?
Yeah, so, you know, one of the wonderful things about the museum is we get a chance to tell new stories and new experiences and reflect. We have the 19th Amendment exhibit that does tell the story about the woman's right to vote. The civil rights, truly one of these organic exhibits that people want to see. I mean, we do everything from the Platthound Museum exhibit that talks about our state dog, the Platthound. We actually had a relationship with Western Carolina, and we were able to tell the story about the Platthound. And so, as well as we have the baseball exhibit that is actually going to be displayed very shortly. And so what we've tried to do is create multiple exhibits that attract a plethora of different types of people, different walks of life. And because the goal is to get people to parks, parks to people. And the same thing for the museum. We want to make sure that we're intriguing, giving people the opportunity to come in and see something they've never seen before and get something out of it.
Yeah, make it more personal.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're part of Raleigh, right? Yeah. 30 years, I'm guessing you're going to want to be around a lot longer than that. So may I ask what might be coming up? Lisa, do you want to tackle that one?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So we do have, we've got a lot of exciting events coming up. I mean, the museum has events throughout the year. Pretty much we have something for everyone. And, you know, we have smaller events like yoga on Sunday mornings, and we have different events that are geared toward kids. The staff is really great about coming up with very interesting ways to get people into the museum. And the Friends, who is an all-volunteer organization, you know, we do our best to help support that as well as fundraise for the museum. And so one of the big I guess, ventures that we have coming up that starts this month. It's called Timely Connections. It is sponsored by the North Carolina Humanities Council, and it's free. So if everybody would like put that on their calendars to take a look at it, they can find it, you know, under the City of Raleigh. They can find it under the museum's calendar. Just a variety of historical talks about really interesting things like Civil War vets' tattoos. I mean,
that would be interesting,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knew? I didn't even know that they had tattoos back then. So, and there's like underwater archaeology. There's a lot of interesting things, and like I said, these are all free, and they're like an hour. It's in the evenings, but you know, it's open to the public, and we hope to get people into the museum to learn these interesting things. We've had some about architecture. There was a lot of interesting ones last year. This is the second year we've had the Humanities Council very generously sponsor this. But we also, one of our biggest events, one of our biggest fundraisers is Raleigh Roast. And this is where we gather a lot of the roasters in Raleigh. There's a lot of coffee roasters in Raleigh people might not be aware of. And it's going to be March 23rd in Moore Square. And we're going to have food trucks and other vendors. And it's just a great event. But it is we have two big fundraisers every year. And the other one is Dark Raleigh, which is where Ernie tells tales. They're all true. So some of them are kind of spooky. Some of them can be a little gruesome, but they're all very entertaining. And so, we do that right before Halloween. So it's a good time as well. And then we have, several other fundraisers and other events that are planned throughout the year that everyone just, needs to kind of take a look at the calendar and they can find them.
Wow. Not only are you detectives, you're actors.
There you go.
Can I ask, Raleigh is blessed with a lot of museums.
Yeah.
And I got to believe that's a bit of a competitive environment. Everybody wants people to come through the doors. And it sounds like you're doing quite well, obviously, for 30 years. I mean, how do you tackle that?
Well, I think the uniqueness about Raleigh's museum is in its own title. It's a story about Raleigh. And I think that the way we get people interested and want to come through our doors is the fact that it's not only just we speak on, the past, but we continuously focus on what is to come. We've had multiple events that did that. Like last year, we celebrated the 50 years of hip hop, and we were able to get our pioneers locally to talk about their experience through hip hop. And the list goes on. We try to find new ways to be able to get people to want to come out, and it's not always the 1800s. It's very recent, very new history. Every day history is made, and Raleigh loves to be a part of the overall blanket experience of that.
Sounds like a fun place to work.
Yes.
And volunteer.
Yes, I was going to say you need volunteers. You mentioned volunteers, and you guys are volunteers. The more the better. If people who are watching today would like to volunteer and become part of the museum, how do they do that?
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to go on our website. It's cityofraleighmuseum.org. It will give the breakdown of our organization as well as all the different programs and events. And it'll give you an opportunity to become a member of a member of the City of Raleigh Museum, as well as if you want to volunteer. Again, one of the realities about our organization or just about the City of Raleigh Museum is that it's such a wide range of people that want to get involved. So, if you have a desire, if you want to think of something that you want to help tell the story, we have room for you for that. And I think that the great thing about the City of Raleigh Museum is that it is constant clay that's being molded. And you have quality people that are just sincere about help telling stories, connecting people. And the museum does all of that. So the Friends of the City of Raleigh Museum, as a support system of that, our job is to kind of help tell the good news and help get good people in the room to be able to help tell about all the cool things that Raleigh can talk about.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of
There
cool
are
things.
a whole lot of things.
Guys, hang in there. We'll be right back. And you too, don't go anywhere.